Hey everybody, it's Christina. If you're new to my channel, I juggle a full-time job and my own art journey, and here I share the honest parts of learning art as a self-taught artist. And since it's officially a Christmas card time, I believe a lot of people are stuck on what to draw, so don't worry, you're not alone. Today I'm putting together a few simple and very beginner-friendly card ideas that you can recreate fast, and they are perfect for family, friends, and you don't need to spend hours and hours creating those. I've already prepared 3 different pieces of paper that I'm going to use for my cards. Of course, you can use whatever paper you have in hand. I'm going to use 2 300 grams paper, just because I'm going to use watercolor on those 2. And 1 sort of a scrap paper that I'm going to use with pens, and it's going to be something like a collage that we're going to create on that paper. And for the collage part, I'm going to use another piece of scrap paper, which is a bit more darker. I'm going to use my pencil. It's just a regular pencil, nothing special, and Micron 05 pen, which is pretty good for any outlines, basically anything that you are planning to draw with black. I'm also going to use the Jelly Roll, which is the white pen, and I really like that pen because it's very opaque and it works extremely well on those type of paper. And another set of colored pens. I'm going to use silver because it's a really Christmassy color and it goes well either on white colored paper or on some creamy paper. The green and the red are as well very Christmassy colors, and I'm planning to try the brown one, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to use it, so maybe I'll stick to those 3. But if you don't have colored pens, of course you can use colored pencils or any other colored supplies that you have at home. Just feel free to use them. And I'm going to use my watercolors. They're nothing special, I just have a few colors here, and I usually mix my colors in my color palette a shot, just because I need the circular shape. So I'm going to use that one. Of course, if you have some other idea of something that has circular shape, use that, no worries. And because I'm going to create some kind of a collage on that card, I have my glue that is usually used for paper or some other DIY projects. And of course, since I'm going to use watercolor paper, a kitchen towel is always a good idea to have in hand. Let's start with creating our cards. I'm going to start with working on that card first, and I'm going to take that piece of paper. For that, I'm going to take my pencil. I want to draw a few stockings, very simple shapes. I really like those 3, so I'm going to use those for my Christmas card. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to cut those. So we can see that there are a lot of pencil traces that we need to erase, so I'm going to take my eraser . Now it's time to just glue them on the paper. I'm going to put them in an equal distance one from another and from the edges of the card. I am going to take my white Jelly Roll pen and I'm going to draw my thread and of course some decorations. And I am going to add some sort of a and to the thread. Decoration on the socks. As you can see, the white opaque color is really nice. That's why I'm using it for those type of Christmas cards, because it can be used for snow, for basically a lot of things. I'm going to continue with the second one. Again, I'm planning to add some sort of a line. So you can improvise here a lot, you can draw whatever decoration you feel like you want to draw. I'm just trying to make them different from one another. And now the other part is to create some elements, maybe some embellishments, stuff like that. Here you can improvise with a lot of elements, it doesn't need to be the things that I am drawing. Okay, now I'm going to take my red pen . Once we are done with that, I'm going to take my green color and I'm going to draw a few leaves here and there. And I am going to use my purple color for some additional embellishments. Actually, I took my Jelly Roll purple color, it's called Moonlight, because the other purple is not very visible on that paper. Okay, and I'm going to take my green color . And now I'm going to get again my white color. As you can see, when we put white color, it gets really nice. I can even use white like it's a snow covering those leaves. It's a really nice touch, I think, and it adds to that Christmassy vibe we're looking for. And the other thing that I'm going to do, I am going to draw some elements here and there to fill the whole Christmas card. And I'll take white color to add some sort of snowflakes. And of course, here at the bottom we can write Merry Christmas. I have to use pencil first so I can imagine where my letterings are going to come. Let's say it's gonna be like that. As you can see, it's way more to the right side, so I have to start somewhere here. Okay, here we are. That's our Merry Christmas, and I think we already have a really nice Christmas card. And of course, in order to remove the pencil traces from below, just wait a bit for the ink to dry, and then you can use your eraser and remove the pencil traces from below. And here we are, we have our first Christmas card. So the second card we are going to draw it with watercolors. So I am going to use my number 4 watercolor brush and a few watercolors. I'm going to mix yellow and blue in order to create green color, but I'm going to add a bit more blue color in order to make that green a bit darker, because I'm going to draw a Christmas tree. I'm planning to add half of that Christmas tree here and the other half to go in the back side. So maybe it's a good idea to just open my card so I can imagine my Christmas tree and I can create it simultaneously on both sides. And I can take my green color and start with my Christmas tree. And I'm adding a lot of white spaces just because otherwise it seems like very unrealistic if you put just a blob of green color, because there is no tree that is just a blob of color, as you know. You can add water if you feel like the color is pretty darker, but I prefer that variety of colors. And now I'm going to add brown color. So now once we fold the card, we have the first part of the Christmas tree, and of course we can add some decorations, something with maybe purple color. Let's write Merry Christmas here. I'm thinking about what color I may use. Maybe I'm going to use my green color to fit with the green color of the tree. Maybe something like that. What I'm going to do, I'll take my pen. I'm going to basically trace my letters. And here we are, we have our Merry Christmas. Of course we can add some dots and embellishments like snowflakes. Here you have it. The second card is pretty ready to go. Okay, it's time for our third card, and again I'm going to use watercolors for that, and also the shot that I showed you earlier. I'm going to use the bottom part in order to create a circle, and that circle needs to be somewhere in the middle of my card. What I'm trying to do here is to find the middle ground, but at the same time to leave enough space at the bottom for the text that I'm going to write here, and at the top, just because I want to draw a branch there and I need to find the middle ground. And I'm going to trace my shot in order to create that circle. Okay, we're going to add our decoration, and what I'm going to do here, I am going to very lightly add lines. Of course, if you want, you can add some other elements, it's up to you. And I'm going to have a hanger at the top, and then I'm going to add the branch that I'm going to have on my card, and it's going to start somewhere here and it's going to go here, for example. Once we have that, I am going to erase a bit, just lightly. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the wet on wet technique, which means I'm going to wet the area that I want to put the pigment on. So once I add water and make those areas wet, I'm going to take my pinkish sort of a color. See how the water goes down? That's the beauty of that method, and of course the end result is never the same, and basically you don't know what's going to happen. Once we have that, we can continue with our branch. For that I'm going to use a green color, a bit darker. I'm going to create the branch itself first, lightly. I'm going to adjust a touch of red here on the right side so I can keep the circular shape. Once I do that, I am going to use my micron in order to trace the hanger of the Christmas bow. And once we have that, we can go to adding the text and adding the snowflakes. I'll go first with the snowflakes. I'm going to use my silver pen. I'm going to write Happy Holidays, so let's see. I can use a red color. Okay, here we are. Here is our Happy Holidays, and basically that's it. This is the end result. So here we are, we have 3 different types of Christmas cards that you can create with minimum amount of time, and I hope they're gonna be useful for you for the coming Christmas season. Let me know in the comments if you like those ideas or you have any ideas for future videos that you want me to share. And thank you very much for spending the time with me, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!